Hello and welcome to episode number 67 on the Online Trainers Podcast. Today's topic is how different are you? Hello and welcome to the Online Trainers Podcast, where we go behind the scenes to uncover the latest tactics and strategies top trainers around the world are using to get more clients, dominate their marketplace, and get their clients amazing results. There is absolutely no fluff here. I'm your host, Lynn Trim. How different are you? Today's topic, something super important. And I don't mean super important, I mean super important, because if you're not different in today's marketplace, you see, for years I was the same. For years I was doing the same thing everybody was doing. For years I was copying the same stuff that I saw online. I would go out, would see a guy put out a program, and I'm going to use that program. I'm going to model it. I'm going to model him. And why that's so important and why I want to bring that up to you today, because this is what I see trainers do. I see trainers and coaches look at other trainers and coaches who aren't making more than $50,000 a year and modeling that. And if you're going to model someone else, even though they've got a nice webpage, even though they've got a nice program, even though on the outside they might look like they're doing well, okay? If you model someone else based on the premise that you're assuming that they're doing well, you're going to fail. Because not too long ago, I ran a summit. I brought together 44, what I thought was the leading fitness experts around the world, and I interviewed them for an hour. And some were good, some were horrible, which I didn't include inside the summit. And I'm not saying that because I want to put anyone down. I'm saying that because that's the reality of what happens in the online space, is that everybody has this illusion that they're doing well. Everybody puts out this illusion that they know everything, yet the results are completely different. So what I want you to understand today, and what I really want you to be careful of, is be careful of who you're modeling, be careful of what you're looking at. Because for me, when I went and developed the Online Trainers Club, the Online Trainers Summit, I wanted to really break down who are the most successful online trainers in the world, who were running a successful business, who were doing possibly $100,000 or more. And the shocking fact was there were very, 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 very few. Okay. Now, if you're going to model someone else's business model, you have to make sure that they get results within their business. Otherwise, you're going to go down that trap. Otherwise, you're going to go and put a ton of work in, a ton of effort to go in and make some sales and then just bomb out. Okay. Now, today's topic, I really wanted to get that out of the way on a nice Monday morning. But today's topic is all about why you are different. Because if you aren't different in the marketplace, if you aren't different to Joey down the road, if you aren't different to Joey overseas, if you aren't different to Joey in the next state, 100 kilometers, 100 miles away from you, why would somebody pay premium prices for you as opposed to Joey? And this is a common thing that I see. And it's common because it's this whole thing of trainers and coaches copying other trainers and coaches and doing the same thing. And yet business is all about innovation, your ability to innovate, your ability to problem solve at a higher level, okay? And marketing, your ability to penetrate the market and get your message through. So the first thing is, what is your one thing? I mean, in another podcast episode last week, I talked about Trump absolutely dominating the elections because he had this one thing. Whether or not you like Trump or not, it's because he had this one thing, which was make America great again. That is your marketing. Can your message penetrate through the market, the saturated market, not competitive market? Can you penetrate through all the noise, all the people talking about flexible dieting, yada yada, and go, this is my message. If you want this result, you come to me and be known as the expert. The second thing is, what makes you completely different? Okay, what makes you subtly different? What makes you different at all? And this is unique about you. So people will buy you, but what's so unique about you if nobody's ever heard of you before? And so I'm asking that because the objection that you're going to get when people sign up to your program, it's too expensive, especially if you're charging higher up, okay? Because you don't want to be charging as much as Joe Blow next door to you. You want to be charging a premium price because you are a leading authority, okay? You are absolutely unique. But the first thing is, you need to understand how unique you are. You need to understand what you do differently. You need to understand what problems you solve and what solutions you provide. And the problem you solve and the solution you provide, that the complexity of the problem you solve will determine how much you're paid. Let me repeat that again. The complexity, the harder the problem, the more you'll get paid. You see, a lot of the times, personal trainers, coaches, Okay, I want to solve this problem. I want to lose weight. And the problem with that is that you've got every single other person on the earth solving that problem and they're not charging that much. You've got Jenny Craig. You've got supplement companies, $30. You've got ebooks on Instagram, 12-week programs that are going to promise to help you shred and burn fat. Those are $50. So if you're promising the same thing, why in anybody's right mind would they want to spend $500, $1,000, $1,500, $15,000 on your product and service when it solves the same problem? Okay, because that's your message. See that one thing? When we go back into, that's the one thing that your marketplace only gets. And it doesn't matter what you understand. It doesn't matter that you know that the supplement companies are crap and they're a scam and your product and service is great. It doesn't matter what you know. It matters what your marketplace thinks. It matters what your prospects thinks. It matters what your prospects know, because at the end of the day, it's your prospect's decision to give you their money. Okay, so that's the first thing. It's really understanding how can you take this fat loss? How can you take this problem of fat loss and go, hold on a second, extend it out to becoming a more intrinsic, deeper problem, a more complex problem that you, as the coach, have the ability to solve, because supplement companies, Jenny Craig, meal plans, all those things cannot solve, because it comes down to human behavior. It comes down to habits. It comes down to community, support, environment. And that within itself, if you have that one thing and you can penetrate the one thing via your marketing message and incorporate that into your education piece, you will no longer be, okay, what I call a commodity. Okay, you want to try not to be a commodity, because you want to create your own marketplace where you're the only one that offers that product and service. Because when you're the only one and they want that, they have to pay whatever you're asking, because there are no other competitors giving that. And so I wanted to put this out today because I wanted to give you an insight on this Monday morning on what you can do right now to start changing your messaging up, especially if you're not different. Because if you're not different, don't expect your clients and prospects to see you as different if your message is the same as everybody else, because there are so many messages out there. You get your message 100 million times more than your prospects will, but you need to repeat it to them 100 million times before they start to understand it like you. We need to step out of our minds and into our prospects. So that is your one task for today. Your one task for today is come up with a unique selling proposition on what makes you different. What complex problem are you solving? Remember, the harder the problem you solve, the more you'll get paid. Are you making it easy as I solve a fat loss problems? Okay, you making it that simple. Because if you're making it that simple, don't expect to get paid a lot. But if you create a deeper understanding of what the actual core problem is, and you've got a product, you've got a service, you've got a program, a flagship program that can solve that problem by going from point A, point B, point C, point D, getting them results, you've got a much better leg to stand on when you're pitching yourself. So that is your task for today. Go and make sure you implement it. And number 2 is make sure you go and share this with your accountability buddy, your trainer, your coach. If you don't have one, go and send this to somebody who you think is going to help bring you up, who is going to take massive action. Okay, we are getting 1,000 to 1,500 episode downloads a day, which is phenomenal, okay? Which means more and more trainers are getting onto this. I don't want you to be left behind. So go and do this. Make sure you implement. I'll see you on the next podcast episode. All right. If you enjoyed this podcast, please leave me a 5-star review on iTunes, and feel free to leave a review. In that way, I can respond and I can take that on board in developing content to serve you. Now, if you're not a part of the Online Trainers Club on Facebook, please do yourself a favor and be a part of the conversation. That's where I add daily tips, tricks, and strategies on how you can build out funnels, how you can get more clients, and ultimately become a better online coach. Thank you for listening.